Someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Oh, beautiful, full spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Patriots and Petticoats, it is my pleasure to welcome you aboard Flight 1776 with service to the United States of America and continuing service to a more perfect union. Federal regulations require that carry-on items are stowed prior to closing the aircraft door. Your items may be placed in an overhead compartment or completely under the seat in front of you. Use caution when placing items in or removing them from the overhead compartment, and let us know if we may assist you. In order to expedite the boarding process, please be seated as quickly as possible after stowing your items and take a moment to review the Constitution and Declaration of Independence located on the device in your pocket. If you are unable or unwilling to perform the functions as described on those documents, please let us know and we will find a more suitable destination for you. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to spending our evening with you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Patriots and Petticoats on our new night, Tuesday evenings at 8:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Central Time. We are coming to you from Eric's home, Indiana, and Chris's home. So that's pretty well, his studio. And we appreciate you guys. So I'll just really quick before we get the show started, if the guys will afford me the opportunity to just chime this in real fast. It's my fault that we have not been here the last couple weeks. My schedule has been a madhouse. So I take full responsibility. It's not the guys' fault. They've been ready to go. It is all me. So thank you guys as our followers, as our tuner inners, so much for being patient with us and for your loyalty through all of that. So thank you. To get us started off this evening. Okay, so already in the chat, Tex says hi. That means YouTube's working. Hi, Tex. Heather looks lovely. Thank you so much. I'm glad you say that considering the day I've had. So hi, Eric and Chris. Hair is fabulous. Thank you. It's a wig. I change them out intermittently. So I appreciate that very much, but this is not my real hair. I'm not this good. And then Rachel says, welcome back. And Tex says, John Fetterman.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm a bald guy in a hooded sweatshirt. I have weird ears.
So
if you don't believe I'm John Fetterman, you're a xenophobe.
I mean, okay, I almost added it to the show, like the PowerPoint thing that I do for the show. There was somebody that put up, it was like a side by side of John Fetterman's, like different photos of him over the course of like the last 2 years. Number one, his shirts do not change very frequently. The shirts remain relatively close to the same. But he has the ability, depending on angle and lighting, his facial structure changes significantly over the course of these photographs. There are two things that are undeniable, like when you look at a photo, to like say, yep, that's for sure Fetterman. One is that curve of his nose where you can tell somebody just fucking had a field day with his face. And the other thing is he has this weird like furrow, like brow. Yeah, it's like, it looks like caveman. Like it hangs like over his eyes. Those are two things he can't get away from. But did you see the pictures where he was getting out of the car? Like one person posted and was like, "Oh, look, Mr. Fetterman, thank you so much for coming to protest with the UAW workers." And so you see that photograph, and then you see the man who's actually protesting. In one vehicle, he has no mustache and a goatee, but at the protest, he has this huge bushy mustache and no goatee. And it's like, what is going on? Like, are y'all just posting like stock photos of John Fetterman, or what is this?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I told Chris, one guy looks Neanderthal-like, and the other guy kind of looks like Farva from Super Troopers. Like they're not. If one guy robbed me and they showed me a picture of the other guy, I would say no, that wasn't the guy.
No, I would not be able to pick. It would be the same person for me. I gotta sneeze.
That's
Holy bananas.
was
Okay.
soundless, but you could see it. That was really good. I could put
Yeah.
some sound bites in there.
Please don't. Don't clip
yeah,
it and put some
fantastic.
horrible fucking soundbite on the back end of it.
We have Heather sex tape live.
Here's her O face, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So, let's
Jake,
talk.
I'm John Fetterman.
Everybody's John Fetterman.
Everybody's John
Spartacus.
Fetterman. Every middle-aged white dad in fucking middle America, balding.
I mean, if you're gonna do that, switch them out. Pick a guy who looks like every other dude at the grocery store.
Yes. Yeah, like find just.
I don't understand his meteoric rise to government to begin with, and why we're gonna be okay with everybody wearing hoodies now. Like what?
Yeah, the Senate. Chuck
We've lost our
Schumer was
mind.
like, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you no longer have to look professional on the Senate floor. You can wear whatever you want to do. No more dress code. Lauren
Dude,
Boebert, if she was in the
Bobart
Senate,
needs to roll in with the straight up fucking string bikini, American flag pasties with the fucking
Yep.
but she's
with
in the
holes-
House of
with the shoulder.
Representatives, so you guys are not that lucky, unfortunately.
Yeah, she just needs to roll up in the Senate anyways. Just do it. Who's in the Senate? That's no senators.
No.
String bikinis. Is there?
No.
No, because don't you have to be like
Dianne
73 to be it?
Feinstein, you want her to show up in a string bikini?
I mean, you wouldn't know what you're looking at. Did is that the age? Is the age limit like you have to be at least 62 in the Senate? Is that what the Constitution says? Or no? Oh.
No, that's not what it says. That's just what we end up with for some reason.
They just fucking live there. Like they get in there and they just camp out.
Yeah. And it's Kristen Sinema. I thought she
All right.
I
I can get down with
actually
Jake.
think Kristen Sinema is actually quite pretty. So
Do it then, Kristen. Do it. For
Yeah.
all the independence in the world.
Yep. Although I question how independent she really is anymore, but that's just me. Okay, so a ton has happened in the 3 weeks that we have been away from one another. Before I get into like my laundry list of things that I prepared for the show, is there anything like that sticks out over the last few weeks that you guys want to just at least touch on before we get into like the schedule of the show?
I don't have room in my brain for 2 weeks of stuff. All I'm thinking about now is the jet.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You guys have moved into football mode. And so for anyone who is tuning in to Patriots and Petticoats, be mindful that Patriot Sports Radio, which is the show that I almost called you fucking John because I looked at the name on the screen.
That's awesome.
John or fuck!
Yeah, you
Eric!
did it. Yes.
Eric and Chris. God damn it. Eric and Chris are from Patriot Sports Radio,
Yes,
and they have a fantastic for the longest time, and they can attest to this. This is not just me like spewing stuff, but the longest time I was a huge fan of their Sunday morning show. I would cook breakfast and hang out with them while I made breakfast for the kids and stuff like that. The kids have uh their corn pop award, like they have both participated in that. So
Yo,
they're
they still
like,
do it. They're still there we're back on Sunday morning. So Finnegan's already been on the show.
okay, I need to turn it on for them then. I
We're
actually
we're
missed
at 9:00 Eastern now, 8 Central
morning time.
morning
Yeah.
for Sunday
9
morning for
a.m.
Wake and
Wake and
Rake,
Rake.
same show. Yep.
Okay.
And then Saturday morning is the Football Super Podcast with us and Will, and we have an all-star studded cast for Wake and Rake
It's
this
really
year.
good this year. We
It's
got a great group.
We have Cricket with us. Jordan from True Serm, he's on with us every week. This week, Elio every week. Cricket every week. We got Andrew Robb coming in from Sports Gambling Podcast. I mean, it's lit. It's a fun time.
It really is,
That's a lot of
you
fun.
guys. Like, this show is, I love this show because I get to bullshit politics with my two favorite people, but their sports show is amazing. So if you are a fan here, you will definitely be a fan there. And honestly, like, just show up for Coach, man, to hear Coach talk about how much he loves food. Like, that's
Get off
like
my
the
lawn.
greatest. He's on the diet right now though, right? Like he's off right now until
Who fucking
Thanksgiving.
knows?
Yeah.
Who fucking knows? It's football season now. I mean, he's
Yeah.
he's knocking down everything in the fucking hot box at every goddamn convenience store between his house and the next football game. Straight up. Fucking chicken gizzards,
Yep.
all of it. Just getting after it.
Oh man. Okay, so we'll skip like a recap. We'll just go into what I have for today then. We're gonna start off with, if I can pull the file up, we're gonna start with Zelensky. So I don't know if you guys saw or
motherfucker.
not, but he had essentially threatened the United States with like withholding his money. And he's like, well, we have plenty of people in your country. It was almost like he was like threatening that he's going to activate some like cell of people that are going to do bad things here in the United
But he's
States.
got to go. He's got to go. We need a team
So-
of 5 to go in there.
Bro, what have we walked into?
Yeah.
No,
It's
we're
bad.
This
not. We're not
motherfucker's
fucking
holding
playing this.
blackmail. You know what I bet he has got tape after fucking tape after fucking tape of all kinds of politicians fucking doing
Yeah.
fucking deals because
Yeah,
it
they're
wasn't
crooked
just
as the
Hunter
day is
Biden.
long over there.
It wasn't just Hunter Biden's son that worked over there. No, Pelosi's son's worked over there. Kerry's son worked over there. There's quite a few if you start digging.
Kerry's pretty deep into this Ukraine stuff.
Bro,
Seems
they're all
like.
in it. The Uniparty's in it. Anyways.
So, just FYI, my
Am I doing too
computer
much?
is doing this really bizarre thing where it keeps going black and then coming back. So, if I disappear, I will be back.
Got you.
With that said, I'm going to play this clip of Zelensky really fast where he's lecturing on the climate.
Is failing on its climate policy objectives. This means that extreme weather will still impact the normal global life, and some evil state will also weaponize its outcomes. And when people in the streets of New York and other cities of the world went out on climate protest, we all have seen them. And when people in Morocco and Libya and other countries die as a result of natural disasters, and when islands and countries disappear underwater, and when tornadoes and deserts are spreading into new territories, and when all of this is happening, one unnatural disaster in Moscow decided to launch a big war and kill tens of thousands of people. We have to stop it. We must act united to defeat the aggressor and focus all our capabilities and energy on addressing these challenges. As nukes are restrained, Likewise, the aggressor must be restrained, and all his tools and methods of war. Each war now can become final, but it takes our unity to make sure that aggression will not break in again. And it is not a dialogue between the so-called great powers somewhere behind the closed doors that can guarantee us all the new wars era, but open war of all nations for peace.
Is he worried about countries weaponizing hurricanes? Is he talking about taking on Mother Earth
That
and
is
defeating
what
weather?
it sounded like to me. Like it
We
was.
need to defeat weather?
Well, he said
And then
Moscow
he
in
just
there.
kept saying war over and over. I don't
So
know what he
I
said
don't.
the last minute.
Whoever like wrote his speech, I don't know if they like conflated climate change and Russia, and he just went with it. Like that's what it sounds like to me. It's so bad.
We
But
need
I
to
will
band
say,
together. Stop hurricanes. He's like a Russian Christopher Walken. We need
But
to band together. Stop
you
hurricanes.
gotta have more cowbell, man.
this is just way over the top now. We just got to recap all this. We got fucking Ukraine dude over here fucking doing his fucking song and dance. We have a fucking governor in New Mexico that without even shaking her voice just as cool as suspending the Second Amendment. Like she knows there'll be no fucking nothing. There'll
Yeah.
be nothing. It's insane.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
So I want to talk about the governor thing here in a second. But before that, I do want to say there is a bit of a maybe light at the end of the tunnel here. So, as obviously Ukraine is whoring themselves out for more money right now. There is a debate right now about whether or not they're going to give more money to them. I will say, for the first time, I saw Kevin McCarthy give some pushback on Ukraine. So here's that clip.
Zelensky elected to Congress? Is he our president? I don't think I have to commit anything. I have questions for him. Where's the accountability on the money we already spent? What is the plan for victory? I think that's what the American public wants to know. Look, what Russia has done in invade is wrong. It's an atrocity, and we want to make sure that ends. I also have always said from the beginning, no matter what the issue is, I want accountability for whatever the hardworking taxpayers spend their money on, and I want a plan for victory.
Is that too much to fucking ask?
Well, so here's my question. Do you think it's lip service? Because obviously the American public's gift giving is dwindling. Like the general average American doesn't want to see another dimes. Okay, hold on. There are the virtue signalers that have Ukraine flags in their bio and all of that. That's not who I'm calling the average American. Middle America, yous and me's of the world are like, do we really need to give any more money to Ukraine, or do we
No,
have
like
some shit
bacon
here
is
we could be spending that
$9.
money on?
Let's chill.
Yeah. So, do you think that McCarthy is just giving lip service because we're entering an election cycle? Or do you think that Republicans are genuinely starting to question where the fuck all this money is going?
I think so many Republicans have been so quiet for so long that they have to be in on it. So now I'm wondering if they're all in on it.
I think too many young, loud Republicans are done with it. And now McCarthy has to listen a little bit.
Well, because his
constituents,
Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
his constituents, which is he's the majority leader, so he kind of listened to everybody. I think that his party is pretty staunch against this war, about funding this war, aren't we? Wouldn't you say? I haven't seen a lot of like constitutionalists, conservatives, I haven't seen that many people into it.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's in the libertarian movement, any of that kind of stuff, they're not in support of it.
No.
But my question to you guys, what are you laughing at, Eric?
He calls his mouth a man pleaser.
What? Oh, yes.
He
Every time
referred
he
to his
opens
mouth
his
as
fucking
man.
man pleaser, it's lip service. I love you, Rachel.
That's fantastic.
So I genuinely do not believe that they have any interest or desire to stop giving money to Ukraine because I think they're getting too many kickbacks.
They're getting some of it. Yeah. Every time
Yeah.
they sign off on it, they're getting a piece.
Yeah.
That's the only ones they're these people are literally selling us out. Like,
Constantly.
who knows how many secrets, the fucking land. We're selling land next to bases to China. Like we're selling everything.
I
We're
have a
just
Hey,
selling
legitimate
off
question.
America, everything we believe in, everything we fucking have. Just like
Why?
making ourselves destitute and morally bankrupt on purpose.
If you
Fucking
are a
crazy.
Chinese person who has gained US citizenship, I'm not talking about you. But if you are a Chinese company
Sell company.
purchasing,
We're a real company.
right. So my question is what benefit? Why are we selling important property to foreign countries? Why is that a thing right now? Why
I
does
don't know.
anybody else do that? Like, is that does the United States go buy land in France?
I don't think so.
Like, that doesn't happen, right? Why are we selling our land to our adversaries? Like, this isn't even an ally.
Yeah, not just foreign countries. It's sworn enemies.
they're not though. They're not. They're ours down here at our level, but we're not the ones that own these swaths of land that are fucking having our fucking iPhones and fucking everything made over there. They work together. It's only us that are like that. There's nobody
That's a
else
good
like
point.
that at that level. Even fucking Elon Musk. I mean, he's got to. All of his shit's over there. I mean, you can't make money after you don't have a company. So, anyways, hey, one other thing though, fun fact that I did before I forget: Chicago is opening its first state-owned grocery store because everybody's pulling out. So now the
I
state is
can't wait to see the
opening up.
shelves. Can't
So
wait to
yeah,
see the photos.
you will own nothing and you will like it. Is coming right into Chicago
When is that opening? Like, what does
right
that look like?
right after the New Mexico governor, without quiver in her lips, with no she knew there would be no fucking physical blowback. 100 years ago, we'd tar and feather that cunt in the town square. Watch it fucking flop around
100%.
until we hung her. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no these motherfuckers are so fucking brazen now. We're so fucking soft. So now we have a communist fucking store opening up in Chicago, and we got the Second Amendment over here just getting shit on. I mean, what are we doing?
Hold on. I need to go back to this grocery store
Are
thing
standing
because
idly by.
I have no clue what you're talking about. And that's like, so they're using taxpayer
The mayor.
funds to create a grocery store, and then they're collecting money and charging taxes on the goods. Like, how does that work?
Have no idea. But
They're a
yeah,
business.
they're the government owns it.
Hmm.
I'll send it to you.
That's crazy. Yeah, please send it to me and I'll do more research because that'll probably end up on the morning show tomorrow. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Chicago Community Illinois State Grocery Store. You should have great selection there.
Speaking of grocery stores, check out this clip. While you guys are looking.
Not okay that our biggest grocery stores are making record profits while Canadians are struggling to put food on the table. So Minister Champagne will be calling on the heads of large grocers to come to Ottawa with a plan to address the rising cost of food. And we expect to hear from them by Thanksgiving on what their plan is to stabilize prices. And let me be very clear. If their plan doesn't provide real relief for the middle class and people working hard to join it, then we will take further action, and we are not ruling anything out, including tax measures.
So,
Look at the smug fucking look on his face too.
oh,
After he
it's
said
so
that.
bad, man. I feel so bad for anyone who lives in fucking Canada. But so grocery store inflation, which is not profits for the grocery store, is 8.5% according to the Globe for Canada. So the cost of living in Canada right now, the average cost of a home is $754,700
Where at?
Not doable.
in Canada.
Whew.
That's the average cost of a home there.
But you make $1 million, right? Right.
This is like those fucking HGTV shows where they're like, I'm a crafter and I'm a wakeboard
Yeah.
surfer.
Oh
and
no, they are
our
always
budget
like,
is $2.8 million.
yeah.
You're
Like, what do
Yeah.
you do?
Our
I
our
glue
must-haves are
I glue the leaves back on trees. Really? What does that pay? What's your budget? 6.7 million. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
our must-haves are an ocean view,
Yeah.
finished basement, in-ground pool.
No,
What do
Listen,
you
the
that's
worst
where
do? I
we're
show
at.
my vagina on the internet.
the worst are the tiny home houses where they go in and they're like, this is too small. And it's like, you asked for a fucking tiny home, you idiot.
All right.
God.
I
So
mean,
where are
I
we at?
didn't think it would be tiny though.
Where are we at now? What are we on?
I
So,
was talking about Justin Trudeau talking about like if you don't cut your profits to compensate for our inflation, we're gonna tax you additionally. It's like what? That
hey,
whole like
that shit is gonna implode on itself. We're
It
gonna
has
watch it.
to.
Yeah.
I'm
There's no other
sorry,
way.
It's gonna be a
but I
cautionary
wanted
tale.
I believed that back during COVID when the truckers and all of that stuff. And then I watched the Canadian government shut people's bank accounts down
Yeah, but
because they
it's just gonna implode. It can't. That's unsustainable. What they're doing. It doesn't work.
yeah.
I'm not saying like the citizens are gonna revolt. I'm just saying that shit's gonna close up and you're not gonna have a country anymore. It's just
Yeah.
gonna be. It's just gonna be you're not gonna have anything. You're gonna be poor. And nothing's gonna be. Oh, same with the Chicago. You can just go down to Chicago. Everything's boarded up now.
Yeah.
Now there's this, and it's not state, it's city owned grocery stores because Walmart's pulling out, McDonald's, they're pulling out, so there's nowhere to shop.
And so okay,
You
let's
just
talk
walk
about the
in and
root
take whatever you want. Eventually, the grocery stores are operating at a
Yeah.
deficit and they leave.
Yeah, if you can't make money, you don't stay there. And if
so
you don't give them any support, like any help to catch
Yeah.
the shoplifters, it's just the same people over and over and over. They're not helping. You have to leave. They've made it a hostile environment to do business in.
Yeah. When
Which
I was a
normally
teenager,
you
you had
which
to,
normally you vote those people out of office when that happens.
yeah,
But
sorry,
they
used to
went
be
from
you had to be
fucking
sneaky to
they went
steal.
from
They just walk
Stalin
in.
to fucking Hitler.
so let's talk about like what has caused that. Like the fact that nobody gets arrested for doing any of the crazy shit, the shoplifting.
It's the policies. It's Lori
Yeah.
Lightfoot. It's all of it. It's democratic
It's the
policies. Look at
DAs who
California.
were told not to prosecute this shit.
Right.
Look at California.
Yeah. No, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying, like, do
Yeah.
you think that the citizens when they can't go to a fucking grocery store for 30 miles, do you
Yeah.
think they're gonna do you think this will create a shift that people will start to say these democratic policies do not bode well for our community? Are we going to see some of these blue cities recognize the reason that they're in the position that they're in?
Yes. Yeah, we will. I don't know.
So
It's going to take a little bit, but we will. It will happen, and it's starting to shift now, I believe, because
yeah,
people don't have money, and when you fuck with people's money, that's when people pay attention. Everybody. No, it doesn't matter who you are. Once you fuck with people's money, they pay attention. It doesn't. That's all through all classes.
you think Hawaii's red now?
I mean, if they're not, they should be, right? Like your government
No,
just
they're not
let your
impressed.
kids burn to death on purpose. They locked them in while they burn to death. Like, how could you ever support any politician or policy that let that happen?
Yeah,
Just
they're just following orders, I'm sure.
Sounds familiar. Okay, real quick, just because I have to throw a Biden clip in.
In addition to helping the environment overall, and the only existential threat humanity faces, even more frightening than a nuclear war, is global warming going above 1.5 degrees in the next 10 years. And we're in real trouble. There's no way back from that.
oh
Did you
my
hear the words
God.
that came out of that man's mouth?
Yes.
What's worse than being nuked? It being 97.5 instead of 96. That's worse
In
than being nuked.
what fucking world did anybody sign off on that speech?
Are
Maybe
they
he just
tanking him?
wings
Are
it.
they tanking him?
I
Maybe.
don't I would think like the fact every single fucking time I see a poll come out that says 47% of the country supports Joe Biden and thinks the country's on the right track, I
Who
want
says
to
that?
fucking meet these people.
Who
Yeah.
says that? I thought he was like at
47% of the
36.
country.
I thought he was at 36% approval rating.
Maybe it is now. Maybe it's 36. 30 almost 40% of the country still approves of Joe Biden.
Well, 36% of it are the bureaucrats and the unions, right? So
Lately, I've been seeing a lot of videos of look how excited the young voters are about Kamala. I
yes,
think there
and
might be.
but I seen those videos today too, and I had to call them out because there was like 2 babies and 1 kid that was 12, and the rest were like 50 and 60 years old. I'm like, Jesus
Yeah, I'm
Christ,
like, who are these people?
why they're Gen Z's on board with Kamala? I'm like, how did they get so old?
So wait, time
Why?
out. Are they trying to like
100%, Heather. Yes.
I think they're putting the feelers out to see what the public does.
Well, her
See what
approval
people
rating
think.
is 32 and has been. And Joe Biden hasn't seen over 38 since Afghanistan debacle.
And
I mean,
neither of them speak
they're in real
publicly. Like
fucking
they're both
trouble right now.
terrible.
They're in real trouble right now. They are in so much trouble that if fucking somebody jumps on the independent ticket and Trump and Biden, I mean, they might give them a run.
who do you think that do you think they'll try to run Kamala or do you think that they'll give Joe
Too
Biden
late.
his graceful exit and bring Gavin Newsom on board?
So
Because
the
Gavin
only
Newsom
way
has come
Gavin
out
New-
and explicitly said he's not running, that he's excited to get Biden reelected.
So the only way that Newsom, there's one way they can install him. Joe Biden's out on the stage giving a speech, fakes the heart attack or whatever, goes down. Gavin Newsom comes out the front row, jumps on the stage, saves his life.
WWE style.
Yeah, I mean, brings him back to life, saves the president of the United States of America. Next day's speech, hey, I
Yep.
just did what
Holy
any
fuck.
red-blooded American would do. And Joe Biden peacefully steps out and says, "That's the man to take the job." And
Yeah,
my God, does the
decisive.
country not unite around that?
No.
No?
No.
Okay,
Not
well,
once
that's
he
the only
tells
way
us
he's
how
getting
many
in,
dicks he
motherfuckers.
cut off.
It's too
What'd
late
you
for
say?
him,
What?
man. You can't
This
run.
shit is
How do
way
you
too
run?
extreme out there.
How do you run? Yeah, how do you run Newsom? Like those commercials would be just head spinning.
What
Just be
makes
like,
me think
here's
it's
San
him?
Francisco. Here's Los Angeles.
They're gonna
Here's a
have
list of
to.
all the rich people who fled the state in the last few years.
It's gonna be Biden, Kamala, or like JFK is gonna come on and take that part and wreck that party on the independent ticket.
What do you think about? Do you think that was a real assassination attempt on him the other day?
I
Somebody
so
posed as one of
if
his
we
security
want to go back in history and we can see if
people
do people like to kill Kennedys? I don't like
Wait, I
functions.
missed this. What happened?
A guy dressed as a U.S. Marshal with like multiple weapons and shoulder holsters went and allegedly was trying to kill Kennedy.
he got in before they fucking figured it out that he was an impersonator. Yeah. You
So
didn't
let
read
me back up
so
real
that's
quick.
the
Are they
problem that
still
nobody
denying
talked about this.
RFK? Are they still
Yes.
denying his
Yep.
Yeah,
Secret Service?
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
And still after that.
Wow.
yeah. It's dirty
That's
pool.
fucked up.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck. And guess what? We're not going to do anything about it. So it's not going to change because
Exactly. That's
we
why
don't,
they're
we
so
don't do
willing
anything.
to get in front of microphones and say what they plan to do
That's
now.
why
They're not even
they
hiding.
just get in front of the microphone and say, fuck your 2-second amendment. Go fuck yourself. It's gone.
Yep.
Next.
What are
And
you gonna
without
do?
even quivering their lip. Like not even a hint.
I will say that in the New Mexico situation, thank fucking God, at least some of the sheriffs and the attorney general of the state was like, this does
Absolutely.
not pass constitutional muster. We're not enforcing this. You're an
But
idiot.
it's just the point that she
Oh, I
just
know.
felt so okay with that. And she's a
Yeah.
Yep.
governor. She's a governor of one of our United States.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
should scare
And
people that's where
yes,
we're at
she's a governor and she's not on the team of like America.
of our constitution, of who
Yeah.
we are. That should scare you. Cities opening up their own stores. That is
Ugh.
just some start. That's just you can argue that that's no big deal, blah, blah, happens all the time. No, it's just another
No.
thread of you will
Equally
own nothing.
concerning is the FBI establishing their own Stasi group of
Yes,
individuals to go after anybody who has a problem
with
with
Ukraine.
the way that they're handling the Hunter Biden situation.
Oh, wait, I didn't hear this. What?
Yeah, so last week the FBI announced that they have set up a special team where the only thing they're responsible for, there's 10 to 12 of them, their sole responsibility is to investigate and go after people who have made threats towards the FBI and other the attorneys who are working at like David Weissman or whatever. Um if you made a threat against them, that is your sole responsibility right now as an FBI agent in this little team. You're going after anybody who has made threats. Well, my question always becomes in that
Like, have you ever seen
situation.
Twitter? Right?
Well, and so like, okay, you guys prosecuted a meme not too long ago. So what
Yeah.
quantifies as a threat?
So can we see it now? We can
Yeah.
see it, right?
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
50 years from now, they're going to look back and say they were living in a police state. They didn't know it.
Yeah. You're
They
right,
hadn't
Chris. That's a
realized
really
it
good point. Yeah,
because
for
it's
sure.
hard in the moment. We all have this starfish over our face. We're in it. We're not over it.
Yeah.
It's weird. And then we read it back. We read our history like everybody knew exactly what was going on when it was
Yeah.
happening. They did not. They did not. It was a
Yep.
fucking idea, and with no certainty of anything. Nothing. It was a republic if you can keep it. There's no certainty. That is just a piece of paper until the citizenry spills blood on it to bring that motherfucker back to life. And that's how it will bring its heart back to life. And that Constitution's always had blood spilt over it. And there's no difference. And now that's going to have to happen again. It's just our turn. And I don't know if that's what's actually going to happen. I'm just telling you that the temperature is at a 9. Just yesterday, 2 fans got in a fight, a Pittsburgh fan and a Patriots fan. That Pittsburgh fan beat that Patriots fan to death in front of his child in the stadium. There's 100 people all around him with phones. He beat him to death. He killed them. Not one person said, "Hey, man, he's had enough." Not one. Right in front of his son. Like, this is the collapse. Like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
It's not normal behavior. Anyways, rant over. Sorry.
No,
That's the destabilization we were talking about.
Yeah, and so the question then becomes like, what do people like us do in that situation? Do we just stand idly by and watch?
No, you slide this hand, you start here, you get it up underneath his throat, and you pull him back, and you break, and you don't kill him. Everybody lives.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You don't
I'm talking
stand there
about
with your
the
fucking
situation
phone.
overall, not just that particular
No,
moment.
that's how you start. That is the whole overall deal. You
Right.
step
It's just
in
like
as a citizen to help your fellow citizens. It is the whole deal. That is it in a nutshell. We have to help each other, not record each other fucking up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the stealing from all the
So,
stores. It's like you have to stand up and say
and
this
say
isn't
no.
okay in my community.
No, Heather, I know it's funny and everything, but listen, you
I'm
said
not laughing at you. I'm laughing at
wait.
Jake's comment.
Right. But wait. You said I'm talking overall. That is how you fix it overall. Each individual is accountable for their actions. That's how our Constitution's built. It is built on the masses doing the right thing. The masses are not doing the right thing right now. When I say the masses,
No.
if 80-90% of America is working one direction and doing the right thing, and 10% are fucking up, you don't see that. You just handle it amongst. Now we're like maybe 60% of America is trying to do the right thing. 40% are being feral fucks.
Yeah.
Now you can see it. We
A couple
have to
kids
get
just
that
ran
back.
over a guy on a bike the other day just because.
God, I
And
saw
killed him.
that.
Like it's like life has no value anymore. It's scary.
So if you're asking like what's the point, it's now. Now's the point where we as individual citizens take accountability for ourselves, our family, and our communities, and we just handle it ourselves.
Nobody you elected or appointed is gonna do anything, clearly.
Yeah.
That's what
Until,
I was getting. This
until we
exact
all do
point
it
that I was
until
getting
we all
ready
do
to.
it until we all do it at once.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing it now. Kyle Rittenhouse, he didn't go to jail. Is that Marine still going? What's up with the Marine in New York? I've not heard anything about that story.
I think his case is still working through trial.
Mm-hmm.
You guys bringing that up made me think about the dude at January 6th that everyone thought was a Fed. What was his name? Epps?
Ray Epps.
Ray Epps.
Yeah, he got
Ray
disorderly
Epps got
conduct
indicted today
disorderly conduct.
for disorderly conduct.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
well, that
funny to
steals it.
me that Tario Enrique, which is one of the leaders of the
Proud Boys.
Proud Boys, yep. Got like 36 years in jail or something. I don't remember the exact
22.
number.
Go ahead.
It was an incredible
Some of these
amount of
sentences
years.
are insane.
He was not even at the fucking Capitol.
Nah.
he was prohibited from going to Washington, D.C. that day, but he still got conspiracy to commit seditious, whatever, like where you prevent the movement forward. Ray Epps is on fucking camera telling
Over and over
people,
the day before and day of.
Yeah.
yeah.
Multiple.
So how did he only get a
Great question.
misdemeanor? How does that work?
Great question.
When
Seems
you're a
by
Fed,
saying we
you
have
get
to go
treated
into the
different,
Capitol,
Heather.
you're inciting something.
When you're a Fed, you get treated different, Heather.
That's true.
Yep.
All
Different
right,
rules for different folks.
I'm getting today's slide pulled up of clips and things that I think we should discuss besides the videos. It will hurry up and load. Okay, so slide 1. So
this is more insanity.
before we get into the actual article, I would like to state for the record that I am 100% certain that in my lifetime, from a political move that was successful, the decision to ship illegal immigrants from the border states to sanctuary cities was the most brilliant move that I have ever seen from a political perspective. Because you literally have, so this is the article, Biden era migrant crisis blowing holes through budgets of liberal sanctuary cities. New York City Mayor Adams said it could destroy the city.
Yeah.
So
He sees no. He's like, we're past the point of no return.
yeah. So they announced this week that the Windy City. That's not Chicago. That is Chicago. Chicago announced they're facing a $538 million budget deficit, with a significant part of that going towards the migrant crisis. They announced the deficit is driven by several factors, including the cost to care for new migrants arriving to the city.
Just say Lori Lightfoot. Would you just say it? It's because.
Oh, is that expensive? Is that expensive? Starting someone from scratch and giving them an iPhone and everything they'll need to live and giving them room and board? Is that expensive?
Right.
Huh.
So what I find
They all have
interesting about
nicer phones than we do. That pisses me off.
So I took the time to go out and do a little research. So that graph that's down there at the bottom is apprehensions, deportations, and like not able to bring ins, right? The light blue or whatever. If you go back and look, so it starts at October of 2019. And it's really funny because the Biden administration is like, we've been down for the last few months on our migrants or whatever. And it's like, okay, bro, let's go look at where you were just 3 years ago. The difference is fucking insane, the number of people that are being let in this country right now.
Yeah, but they're down on their fucking
Wow.
recruit. They're down on their numbers. They need more. They have a certain number that's got to hit because what if they don't win the next election? They've got to get them in here.
Oh, yeah.
So are we going to actually have the chance to see something done about the border? Because now you have liberal cities barking at members of Congress and saying, whoa, 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 this is out of hand now. It's funny because I was on the phone, and I'm not going to say their name because I don't know if they want to mention that we had this discussion, but with a friend in Texas, and they were talking about, how they've dealt with this for so long. Like, what would their state budgets, what would their states look like? I mean, these people have only been dealing with this decision to bus these migrants. I think it was like 38,000 or something migrants have been bussed up there. So that's only 38,000 migrants. Like, think about what Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, what those states have been dealing with for years
Yep.
and what their states would look like if they weren't having to deal with that.
I don't understand how this is sustainable at all. And it's not making a dent. Like there's so many people in the same situation as the people who come here, which is a dire situation that I really don't know. I only see on TV what these people are fleeing. But even if we took twice as many, it wouldn't help anybody really, and it would only hurt everyone involved. Like everybody, I don't, I don't understand. It seems on purpose. It seems like the entire time this is purposeful sabotage. We open the borders, we close down the pipeline, we fucking send money and guns overseas to the other side of the world to, people who are crooked as a barrel of snakes. And that's all just on the up and up, and you're a terrible person if you're not on board.
And I
Feels
think
on
about
purpose.
like, okay, I feel bad for those people. I've been there.
Yes.
I've seen what they live in. But it's not our job to fix everything else for everyone else at our own expense. Like they talk about national security all the fucking time to justify all these decisions that they make. Your border is wide the fuck open. What bigger national security interest could you possibly fucking have at this point?
What was the chain of communications that ended with weld the gates open?
Right.
Like, how did that conversation start? Who told who to do what? That blows my mind.
I agree. Tex said the state of Texas deployed the Guard and state police because of the Biden administration. Places like El Paso and small border towns are full of illegals. The cartels get a foothold across the Rio Grande,
Yeah.
Rio Grande. I don't know how the fuck to say that name anymore because Starbucks has ruined me where it's like a grande, which is actually Italian. And so then there's the Rio Grande,
Yep.
but grande in Mexican Spanish. So I'm like, I don't fucking know. It's a
I
fucking
took my
river.
daughter there because she gets some kind of strawberry drink, and I wanted a coffee, and I thought large was their small, so I just said large latte, and I got this giant coffee. She's like, "No, you ordered a venti." I'm like, "No, I said large. I don't fucking speak Starbucks." Every time I have to have her text me what she wants so I can read it
Oh,
in
that's
person.
funny. Okay, so this is kind of a big deal. And I don't know if you guys caught it. So this is a
Yes.
little bit old news, but
Well, it's
um
big.
this was federal court when Escondido Union School District has been blocked by a federal judge from requiring teachers to lie to parents about their children's gender identity and preferred pronouns. So, what was notable in this was Judge Benitez, which God love that man for being like the only sound fucking mind in the state of California's legal system.
Maybe in a
But
few states nowadays, but yeah.
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 So he said the school's policy is a trifecta of harm. It harms the child who needs parental guidance and possibly
Yep.
mental health intervention to determine if the incongruence is organic or whether it is the result of bullying, peer pressure, or a fleeting impulse. It harms the parents by depriving them of the long recognized 14th Amendment right to care, guide, and make healthcare decisions for their children. And finally, it harms the plaintiffs who are compelled to violate the parents' rights by forcing plaintiffs to conceal information they feel is critical for the welfare of their students, violating plaintiffs' religious beliefs. I was so proud of him
He
for
wrote that
making
so
this
well.
decision. Yeah.
But he wrote it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very well done. So that's a huge win in today's climate right now. In the environment that we're in, this case was a big deal. Especially in California where I mean like here we don't see anything like this. Like this isn't even being discussed at our schools. But it is being discussed in more liberal cities. And so I thought that this was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I
In
didn't
the
know there was a logical mind in California still. That's encouraging.
he's he's pretty amazing. I like him a lot. Okay, 2 silly fucking stories and then we'll do 2 truths and a lie. Chris will be excited about it.
All right.
Celebrities are selling themselves on
Uh-huh.
eBay.
What?
Uh-huh. Oh my
610
God.
bucks? Hey, that dude
The
from
strike is really hitting, huh?
the dude from Parks and Rec's only 610 bucks. What'll he do? Does he dance or something? What do we get?
He will walk your dogs for an hour, but only if you live in LA.
Well, for fuck's sake. No homeless guy
So
can fucking afford 610 bucks.
I can have
so
a Zoom
here's
chat
the
with the cast of New.
this is do you guys remember when COVID happened and they all sang the fucking John Lennon song or
Oh,
whatever? Like,
yes.
what song was it? Oh,
Imagine, was it?
yes, that's what it was. And so now they're all striking, right? Like none of them are working. But who is that fucking over? Is that fucking over Sarah Silverman? Nope. It's fucking over her back, like her hands that do like her setups, all of that
Make
stuff.
up.
Like the
Yeah,
hardworking people, right? They're losing their insurance right now. They're not getting paid. Like those people are getting fucked. So these
he probably still
celebrities
owes on those tits.
are now asking the yous and me of the world to pay for things like a Zoom meeting or 20 questions for 20 minutes at $620 a pop. A Zoom meeting. So this is just
Well,
me getting on the internet with the cast of New Girl for $2,025.
Hey,
it's
Heather.
almost worth the $500 to ask Maggie Gyllenhaal how she gets work being so incredibly unlikable.
So I'll tell you this. Like, so are all these people on strike or
Yes.
something? Like, I
Yes.
didn't even fucking notice. Like,
Yeah.
I'm being honest. Like,
I know.
just the other day, maybe it was Eric was like talking about the writer's strike or something, and I was like, they're on strike, and I look it up. They've been on strike for a while. Like
A long
all those
time.
nightly shows, they haven't made any. Nobody's told
All
me they haven't made
reruns.
anybody because nobody's fucking even noticing that I
Yeah.
know. Nobody that I know even notices it. So
No,
what if they're figuring out they're not that fucking important?
that's fantastic.
Like we don't give a fuck. Put another movie out. We're not gonna go watch some motherfucker anyways. Nobody cares.
Nope.
Well, so a couple people crossed the picket line because the
Oh my god,
demands
that was a fucking deal. Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, Drew Barrymore did as well because the expectations of what they're asking for in this strike are just completely unrealistic. Like it's like extraordinarily unrealistic. Not
Well, fuck
profitable
them then.
even. And so these people are like, "Well, fuck this. I'm not going to keep my show off air cuz we're never going to come to an agreement. So I'm going to go ahead and start my show." Well, then they're back to the table. And so they're like, "Okay, just kidding. I'm going to take my show back off the air." But the argument was it's because Bill Maher couldn't get any guests to come onto his show
Uh,
Oh well,
because he crossed the picket line.
they also brutally attacked him. I
Yeah.
mean, they were just raking him. It was cancel
yeah.
culture kind of, and he didn't stand the heat. I would be like, I'd give a fuck I'm going to work, motherfuckers.
Like-
Kiss my ass.
Yep.
So I've been sitting and thinking about this. Like, this is a huge opportunity.
I was just starting to watch Bill Maher too. Like starting to be like, okay,
Yeah.
this guy's okay, I'll listen to you. I know he's a Democrat. We don't agree on everything, but we agree on enough of the shit that's important to me right now that I enjoy his talk. Then sometimes he'll go off and I'll be like, "You, oh my god, there you are." But listen, he like listening to him is like listening to like the old school Democrats where we could fight about gun laws and abortion, but we weren't like fighting about not telling the parents if we're gonna cut the dicks off of our kids and shit. That's
Yeah. We
Like, that's-
all agreed that was a bad idea back then.
yeah. So he's same with like all these new right wing extremists. Joe Rogan, Democrat, 15 minutes ago. Fucking, there's so many of them, right? They're not right wing. First of all, they're very centrist. And Joe Rogan is still super liberal socially. He's just not liberal to the point where he's cool, like mutilating mentally ill children and shit like that. He's not cool with like, and he's like old school liberal, right, Heather, where it was all about free speech and fuck the government. That's what their whole deal was.
Yeah.
Like, less, right? This is
But
new.
he's a
This
live and
whole,
let live guy.
this is a like a Marxist movement almost. This is a different kind of deal that's coming through right now. And it's a different kind of deal on the right too.
Yeah,
Like
you're
Donald
right.
Trump's new.
Really quick, I want to tell, I don't know if she's still here or not, but Angela Creates, who was tuning in over on Rumble. Thanks for joining us. I apologize if I missed you. It's
the
hard for
Rumble
me
folk.
to remember to switch back and forth. But what I was gonna say a second ago, this whole writer strike, actor strike, whatever, like those publishing houses, those organizations, they need to put out movies because they have people that need to make money too. This is a huge opportunity for budding writers that want to like write conservative. Go like all these fucking people that have been putting out bullshit fucking content. Go put something out there that's fresh, new, written. You would have the opportunity of actually being seen and heard in this moment in time because you're offering something that no one else will.
So also, hey Eric, are the writers on strike at ESPN?
I don't know.
Or is that different,
I don't know
Heather?
if that falls under. That's
Is that a
entertainment,
guild?
right? I don't know. It's gotta
Just
be.
curious, Heather. What all does that union? Does that union just cover like movie, Hollywood, or
To my understanding, it's anything
Screenwriters Guild.
like screenwriters. So
how
if
about oh, okay. So not
now
like the
if your show is
not like the
scripted, if
USA Today.
somebody else is writing it, they're probably protesting you. I'm sorry I was talking over you, but not on purpose.
It's not journalist, right? That's
No.
different.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, these are the people who write like Jimmy Fallon's script for him.
So he couldn't fucking write it himself. So that's what Bill
Correct.
Maher was. That's what he was talking about because he had came out like a little bit ago that's when I started paying attention when he said, "Hey, I'm going to start doing my show again. It is not going to be the same. Just letting you know, my team of writers won't be there. They're on strike. I support them. Blah blah blah."
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other people behind them that are going hungry now that work on the show. And it's time for them to get back to work. And I guess Bill Maher he's been kind of floating them. And he's like, look, I can't do that. I can't keep this payroll up for this many because he's paying. There's a lot of people in the production that's not on the strike.
Yeah.
Or even in the union or have those kind of powers behind them. Anyways, so he explained that his show would be not as the same, but it would be him and he would do it. No, they weren't having it.
Yeah. I mean,
fuck the guy that does the drywall. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole crossing the picket line is just not a good look anymore. Like it's just not permissible. You're not allowed.
But he's not on strike.
Well, he's an actor, Screenwriters and Actors Guild. That's what SAG
Oh, they're all
is.
one.
Yeah,
They're all grouped into one union.
correct.
But this is his independent show, so it's not like tied up with Fox and the union company. So he's like, fuck you.
My guess is that it is like
He
his
still does the
writers.
same. He still does the same podcast from his house. That's still been going, where all kinds of people come on for like a pretty long form,
But that's a
But
podcast. That's
it's not
different.
real time with Bill Maher. That's what he was. He was talking about the HBO show.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you now. So it's the HBO show. So it is. He would be a scab. That's what they would call a scab.
Yeah.
I have no
Okay.
loyalties. I jumped in the union 6 months and then said, "Fuck you, I'm out." You send me one more fucking piece of mail with the goddamn anything about fucking voting for Democrat. Fuck you, I'm out.
So, our government is really good, and they lost an F-35. And I wanted to touch on this because let me see if I can pull up the actual article that I had that had the numbers on it, because it was like, here it is. Son of a bitch. Okay, there goes. So the plane is worth $100 million.
Nice.
The pilot did a forced eject while the aircraft was still on autopilot. It was at an altitude of about 1,000 feet and only about a mile north of Charleston. It flew for another, I think it was like 35 fucking miles or something. It was a ridiculous distance. So the question is, like, how did it fly for that long and why was it so hard to find?
I don't know why it was so hard to find, but they've been
Well,
flying fighter
it
jets
is
with
stealth.
AI for a little while now.
It's really good
Either
stealth.
the AI became self-aware and threw the pilot, or it was hacked. Neither are good.
Okay, like, are
I
you
mean, it
serious
really
right
might have
now, or
just
are you
no.
joking? Because I feel like that could be true.
They
Yeah, it
flew an
could be true.
F-16 with no pilot and AI for like 17 hours, like 6 months ago. They're flying these things with AI, and they're letting more and more military strategic decisions be made by AI too. That's what really freaks me out.
Rachel said, I'm pretty sure that's my son's unit. He isn't talking to me about it, but I'll totally dish if I hear tidbits. You can't do that,
Yeah.
Rachel. You have to keep it a secret. So
Nope,
he'll keep
dish.
telling you. But
No,
then
he
come
can
tell
tell
me
us.
privately and I'll
Yeah.
dish. That way
Uh,
you don't get blamed.
yeah, that has all
Um,
the sources.
like, so for real on this, I put memes up here like as a joke, but it's amazing to me how haphazard this is. Just like the government's acting like, oh, it's no big deal. Like, it just, we were just looking for our
Because
F-35.
the boss is on
Not their
vacation,
money.
homie. The boss is on vacation, homie.
It's
Has he
like,
been to East Palestine yet?
Who's that? What's
Is
that?
he still
What is
working on
that?
that?
I don't know that
He's
he ever made it there.
he is fucking curing cancer, people. It's getting it done.
He is so amazing. He's the best president we've ever had. Didn't you know that already?
Boy, he gets
Yep.
shit done. He fucked this place up quick. Like I didn't even
And
know it could be
I
done that
mean,
quick. I'll be honest with you, straight up.
I am impressed at the speed, the breakneck speed at which we have ruined America.
It's really sad when you sit and think about it. Like,
Fucking
I
crazy.
think about like my childhood and what the cost of things were when I was in high school, when I got my license and stuff like that. Like, the world that is there for my kids when they get there, it
Yeah,
just worries me so much.
yeah, yeah. It's concerning. Like the general safety there was going someplace public. Like you heard about kidnappers in vans or whatever. But I mean, from the time I was like 10, I just ran the streets. Like I would never let my daughter just leave at 8 a.m. and come back when it's dark. I'd be checking her location 19 times throughout the day.
Do you want me to share this, Chris?
Hey, it's my favorite meme. You don't love it?
Oh, I do love it. You need to send that one to me. That's a great one.
I thought I did.
You know, if it was their money, I bet they would have kept better track of it.
You might have.
Oh God.
Okay, you guys want to do?
And it's been a really fun thread. I've had some really staunch liberals on there lecturing me on Joe Biden doesn't have time to look after one jet. And then I've had a lot of fun time posting his responsibility as his president. It's just been fun. And it's always like argument. And then I go fuck yourself. Another argument. And I go fuck yourself. And then it's always like, Orange man bad. Fuck you,
Yep.
maggot. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, you motherfuckers crack me up.
They're
Orange man
so
bad.
invested too. Like they
Boy.
want it to hurt your feelings. Like they want
Yeah.
the mean words on the internet to matter to you.
But
the
only way to do it is they want you so bad to love Trump, and then they could just be like, "Rah," and
yeah.
I mean,
No, actually,
there
I
are
just love
some real
common sense.
there are some real Trump lovers out there that really get after that. They like take it personal, but what the fuck?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh, no, you can't.
So, fun fact about our cute video that I created. On Facebook, once that video is played, they take it off of like foreign markets because they don't have the rights to the music in those markets. So, but YouTube lets us stay live. They just put a little note in the description that says this is the song and then whatever. So, I thought that was cool. Okay.
Perfect.
2 truths and a lie for our audience who is here, which you guys have been extraordinarily quiet this evening, but doesn't hurt my feelings. I just wonder, I keep checking to make sure that YouTube is not broken again where like nobody's talking. If you are new here, so I do know that Angela was new. If you are new here, 2 Truths and a Lie is a segment that we do on every episode of Patriots and Petticoats, where I tell 2 stories that are true and 1 story that is a lie. And you have to, as the audience, without Googling, figure out which story is the lie. So I will get started with today's 2 truths and a lie. So, first story. The small town of Sunnyside, Florida, made headlines with its peculiar decision to pass an offbeat ordinance banning the use of umbrellas on sunny days. The curious law, which is still part of the town's folklore, was enacted in the spirit of whimsy and community unity. The story dates back to the early 20th century when Sunnyside, a picturesque town renowned for its pleasant climate and clear skies, decided to embrace its sunny disposition in an unconventional way. Local leaders sought to promote neighborly interactions and engage residents in a light-hearted tradition that celebrated the sun. Story number 2. Ralph Farrar suffered from hemochromatosis, which meant that his blood accumulated too much iron. The treatment was to have a pint of blood taken from him every week. This blood couldn't be used for other patients, so Farrar used it on his roses as an iron-rich fertilizer instead of the commercial rose food containing dried animal blood. After 8 years of weekly blood drainings, his condition began to improve, so much so that he only had to have blood taken once every 2 months. No word on what happened to his roses. Story number 3. Mrs. Dorothy Dix was awarded damages of $630 because her hair turned green. Legal counsel for Mrs. Dix told a court that her hair, normally brown with a streak of white caused by illness, turned green after a permanent wave in July. Efforts were made to bleach the hair back to its proper color without success. After the bleaches, the court was told the hair became a lighter shade of green. Subsequently, it became frizzled. A friend of Mrs. Dix had described it as resembling a dirty sheepskin rug. The hairdressers denied negligence. However, she was awarded the damages. Those are your 3 stories. Which one is the lie?
Can you just do the headlines real quick? Boom,
Think.
boom, boom.
Yeah. I think
Local
the
town
roses won.
enacts zany law prohibiting the use of umbrellas on sunny days. Fertilized roses with his own blood. And her hair turned green. She gets damages.
That's too close to Little Shop of Horrors.
Angela Creates over on Rumble says story 2.
Okay,
so you know.
Angela says story number 2.
Mhm.
I think you and Ainsley watched Little Shop of Horrors last weekend, and you got the idea from this story about a man feeding his roses blood.
Rachel
Well, I
says
think-
number 1 is a lie. Eric, are you going with number 2? Blood roses?
2.
Chris says 2. Blood
I mean, that was
roses?
compelling, Eric. Like, if I had a DFS lineup in front of me right now, I'd be fucking done for an hour trying to make this fucking money work out because you made me put this player in. Totally
Tex
switched
and
it.
Jake, do you guys want to chime in before I give the... Chris, you have to get the Jeopardy music between now.
Oh, yes, I will. I have music for now, though, real quick, that we can use. Okay.
Jake says number 3 is a lie.
Journalists don't say zany. That's a great point.
But remember, the stories that I'm pulling are from a long time ago.
People might feed their plants blood in the 50s.
Do you want me to do like a Jeopardy type?
No, you don't have to. Everybody has answered except for
Okay.
Tex. Tex, do you want to answer real fast? If you don't want to, you don't have to.
I'm with Angela Creates on this one.
Okay.
100.
So the answer is, the lie is number 1.
God.
Son of a
damn it.
bitch.
Eric, that was compelling, though, bro. Like, it all made sense. I'm like, that's absolutely something they would watch.
It's like she googled a hemoglobin word about blood to throw us off.
Oh, I love it.
Or whoever
so much.
wrote it, probably exactly what it was.
Rachel got it right. I need to make sure that I write that in my... Oh, look, guys. Look what I did. So for all of my stuff that I have little notebooks that have just for like each category. And it's like,
how do you tell
tabs.
me you're a mom without saying you're a mom? Just hold that up. Okay. Yeah, she's a mom.
And it has pages in it. It's so awesome.
She's
I
a
love
girl
it so
mom.
much.
She's a girl mom and she lives in that bubble. So she thinks everybody's into that. So she's like, oh my God, the pages. Everybody loves pages. But no, it's just you and Ains. And Finn just says it because he's little. But when they grow up, he'll be like, what are you talking about? Hand me the wrench.
Oh, man. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Sorry for the push. We're going to try. This week, it worked really nice. If it works for you guys for us to do 7:30 your time, I think we'll just keep that. That's what we did on Sunday nights. That gives me the ability to get home and get stuff together. That's probably going to work for me moving forward. So for you guys to know, moving forward, we will be on Tuesday evenings at 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 Eastern Time. I love you guys, everyone who tuned in.
I'm the
Angela,
seven. Corey's pops a bad too.
that's Finnegan for anyone who doesn't know. That's he's doing his Joe Biden impression. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys take care and have a wonderful rest of your week.